Every RV needs a name, right? I'm calling this one Mr. Jefferson, because on my personal list, this one right here is moving on up. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd hanging out in my hometown store here in southern Michigan today with some nice updates on the 19 RBHL. This is the very smallest, lightest member of the Wildwood laminated family of heritage Glens, or what Salem calls Hemisphere, exact same thing. It is an open concept, lightweight, small, easily towable little couples camper. Let's expand on that. It's less than 4,800 pounds empty, dry weight. It is short, it has tandem axles for easier handling and more peace of mind. It also has wide stand stability axles to make it even better riding and handling going down the road, and now for the 23 season, maximizing the peace of mind with Goodyear Endurance radials. But it's not all just outside stuff. On the inside of the RV, they got rid of the carpet. That was the number one ask I heard from a lot of people this last year. Love the camper, don't like the carpet. Now, some people like a little bit of carpet to keep their toes warm, but not everybody. Now, today we're looking at it with a theater seat set up with a little removable dynofa table, and we'll expand on all of that as we go. If you want to, though, you could order this with a hide-a-bed. You could order it with a full, true U-dinette. You might notice how the slide-out is a little bit bigger than the sofa itself, but that makes for a perfect little place to either keep the dynofa table or some TV trays, which is a highly underrated dining method in RVs, by the way, or just a nice little Monopoly slot, something like that. I like to keep a table on one side, a Monopoly board on the other, so that after my daughter smokes me, I can flip the table and cause the pieces to go flying everywhere and just say, like, this game is rigged. Thankfully, with no heating vents in the floor, my little, silver dog piece in the race car and 3 of the greenhouses aren't gonna go in any kind of floor vents where they're gonna sit there and just hang out with the dust bunnies or anything like that. It is easy cleaning, it's pet friendly, all kinds of good stuff on this one. It's also got a couple hang-ups, like a Camp Queen, because some people are gonna be like, oh, that sucks. But stick with me, I'm gonna expand on all that, show you what's good, what's not, and let you decide if this might be the one for you. But seriously, I'm impressed with the little small smart tweaks that they're making on these. And there are certainly no shortage of different manufacturers who make a layout like this. So the question kind of becomes, well, which one's the best? And that's the thing. They're all kind of tweaked up and tuned up a little bit differently from one another, and they all have a couple different interesting areas. Some have, widgets A, B, and C, and others have D, E, and F, and it all depends on what you're looking for. One of the things that I think is very cool is the air conditioner. It's now a 15,000 BTU air, and it is centralized. Even though this is mostly just a one-cabin RV, it is nice that it's centralized to really kind of provide even airflow through everything. Now, you can see all kinds of awesome window coverage over here. You see that little, full size, not little theater seat, very not cuddle compliant, but notice how there's that little dynofa table in the gap on the left side of the slide. I threw that there just to kind of help, draw some attention to that, because that slide is actually sized for a big full-size U-dinette, which is an available option, and a hide-a-bed is also an option depending on what you're looking for. My guess is there's probably 2 main points of concern on this floor plan for most people. The first is the fact that this is a Camp Queen, and the second is the fact that it has no front bedroom privacy. Those are going to be instant all-stop deal breakers for a lot of people. And if you appreciate that I go out of my way to go ahead and knock that stuff out first and foremost, hit that subscribe button or leave me a little comment if you've already, done so, and just says, hey, thanks, I appreciate that. You saved me from wasting 20 minutes of my life watching an RV video for an RV that doesn't exactly work for me. Now, I'm going to get you, all of this stuff opened up and in more detail, but first I want to actually sit at the theater seat. I'm parked at the right-hand theater seat right now, and if we look straight forward, that's what we're looking at right here. Now, I'm going to give us a look at kind of the rest of the kitchen real quick as I slide myself over to the other theater seat, just to kind of, one, frankly, kill some time, and 2, complete the visual. And when I do that, you might notice that there's actually not terrible campsite window coverage on this. It's certainly not the glory focal point of this RV, but I don't think it's necessarily terrible here. Now, the RV is 6.5 foot tall inside. It's not extra tall. But over here in the kitchen, that skylight does kind of help open up, lighten, and brighten everything up. The lighter general, that kind of taupe, sandy sort of color wood tones that you have going on here, they also help. Although I do think the little color contrast on like the slide fascia and the furniture help as well. Now, Again, we're looking at a theater seat today. There's other seating options available, but let's start diving deeper in all the details here. Again, that is a wall-hugging, dual reclining theater seat. What's kind of cool about this is it does actually have some power outlets down inside that middle central console right there. And you see that Dynofa table you can bring out when you want to. Now, again, I would just slide it beside the sofa when I'm not going to use it. Now, there's awesome storage all the way around the bed. I love that the bed base has gas struts for easy lift. And the overhead cabinets have struts for easy access so you don't have to hold them open with your head. You may have noticed too, blackout roller shades all over the place, and those headboard power pockets where you have some household and USB outlets over there. Those are so handy. Having the, having your plugs up by your head, whether it's, a handful of people are CPAP users. I think a lot of people are probably like, cell phone users, and being able to have your phone charging right next to you at night, I think a lot of people find a lot of benefit in that. I know that I like it because I sit there late at night. Actually, it's one of the things I do. I've got one of those. It's so like, oh, really? You're one of those old men now, Josh, that does this thing? And yeah, I am. I wear slippers, and I have one of those little bendy, rearrangeable things that I strap around my neck that holds my phone at night. As I'm laying there kind of relaxing, letting my brain settle down a little bit, I pop my AirPods in and I sit there and catch up on whatever Netflix cartoon anime stuff my wife will never watch with me because, frankly, I don't blame her. That's certainly not for everybody. And, I sit there and I fall asleep. And anybody else do this where, like, you watch something until you fall asleep, and then when you wake up, it's like 3 episodes later, Netflix is like, hey, are you still watching this? Because this costs us money. Sliding pocket door over here into the bathroom is an interesting change, but instead of, this is one of the main differences, I think, on this version of this floor plan. A lot of manufacturers give you a radius shower shoved over into a corner, and the elbow room in that kind of sucks. They don't do that here. They built a little more boxy bathroom, but overall, I think it works. Now, when you see me from the bird's eye view down, it doesn't look awesome, but because of that bathroom countertop cutaway right there, I was actually quite surprised. The right hand, left hand butt napkin action space is actually not terrible. Now, again, with a 6.5 foot tall camper, they're not exactly able to give us tremendous headroom in here. But because the skylight occupies basically anywhere your head's going to be in the shower, it works. And I do like it's a full height shower surround and just an easy step-in shower pan. Now it does have as Mr. Steve Z, regular viewer, will say, a 4-inch fart fan. It does not have the big Friday night fajita fume fighting XL vent fan, but thankfully, those are the kind of little tweaks, changes, updates, and upgrades that we can assist you with here before you even take the RV home, should you be so inclined. But the travel access in this model is phenomenal. With the slide closed, you don't even got to do the sideways two-step to navigate your way through here. And since they didn't go with a big peninsula model, it's very easy to get up here to the front bed. But it also reveals something, and I hope you appreciate that I take the extra time to showcase this, even though it's not a positive aspect of this RV. If you wanted to go to a true queen bed instead of the short queen like we're looking at here, there's a way to do it, but it is a janky workaround. What you're going to basically have to do is essentially stick with a short queen mattress and then get some kind of spacer extension block that you pull out before you close the slide and then shove up in the headboard area and slide the whole mattress back when you get there. It also means that the very end of the bed's going to be a little flopsy in case you do happen to sit down on it. That's a technical term, but it's a potential way around doing that. Now, as I Michael Jackson moonwalk my way backwards out of this thing, you can see obviously, getting to the toilet, absolutely not an issue. Getting the refrigerator, very, very easy. So it does have excellent travel access. Like I said, really, I think about the only two major hang-up points that somebody might have on one of these is an open bedroom with no privacy and just no true queen or direct allowance for it. Ooh, windy. Now, as I mentioned before, this is it is the opposite of a Sir Mix-a-Lot long, strong, and down to get the camping on. It is short, light, and down to get the towing right, basically. And, don't worry, I'm not quitting my day job anytime soon. Actually, I'm hoping that they start paying me for this pretty soon. That would really help make ends meet, but neither here nor there. If you've got even I think a mid-level tow package kind of half ton. If you have a like a bigger class tow package SUV, I think you'd be able to yank this around pretty darn readily. Because again, it is not long, it is not heavy, and with the wide stance stability axles, you're going to get even better ride and handling. But one of the interesting things on this RV is it is very lightweight physically, but it still has a pretty decent GVW, which is going to knock it out of contention for a lot of mid-size tow package pickups, anything like that, like a Ford Ranger. Someone's gonna say, you know, a Ranger, Tacoma, like maybe something like that. You know, the weights and measures on this might just fall into that kind of class and category, but the maximum weight is going to really push that vehicle. And I don't know that I really feel comfortable recommending something like that, especially if you're towing up inclines, long distances, or through heavy windy areas. So I hope you appreciate that I'm looking to put your safety before the sale, because I'm sure some mid-size pickup owners would have been happy as heck to take one of these home, but I don't know that that's a great idea. One of the only hiccups with being a smaller RV is that you end up with, you know, a smaller awning space. They really couldn't do any more though, because if they tried to extend the awning any further forward, you either would have had to have given up the bedroom window, or the awning arm would have like fought with that pass-through baggage door compartment right there, and nobody wants any of those things. Got a little outside TV hookup situation. I don't really go camping to watch TV outside, but just because that's not how I go camping doesn't mean it's dumb or stupid. Maybe you go camping because you want to watch your favorite baseball game outdoors. I don't know. I don't care. You camp your way. But my point is, what is nice is having a little bit of outdoor entertainment, and this does have a pretty nice little entertainment space. Now, once again, those are Goodyear Endurance radials, so they're using American-made tires, rated for 87 miles an hour. One more, and they'd be able to go back in time, as we learned from Doc and Marty in parts 1, 2, and 3. Although, I do think you're going to need a bigger battery bank to generate the necessary 1.21 gigawatts of power. Now, you see that little white flag dangling down, flapping in the breeze below the water heater right there, just below the rear bumper? That is a gas grill quick connect. Now, it is coming off the side of the RV, so technically speaking, that is a cooker hooker, not a propanus, because the gas is not coming out the back side, but it does accomplish roughly the same thing. Now, if you look at the very top left corner of the back wall, you see that black horizontal line. That is a mount for one of those telescopic removable ladder kind of jobs, which is nice that they are actually giving us a way to get up to that fully walkable roof. This has had a walkable roof for years. A lot of people didn't know that because it didn't have a ladder on the back of it, because, you know, kind of some old RV logic says if it doesn't have a ladder, it's not walkable. That's really not true anymore, but for a long, long time it was, so there's still some of that pervasive thought out there. You know, if you need that telescopic ladder, that's an easy thing we can help source for you. You see how all the windows are tinted? They open nicely for airflow, although you got the blackout roller shades to keep the seasonal lady next door from spying on you too awful hard. You got a full outside hot cold utility shower here, but they did do one thing right here that just made me go, ugh. Do you see it? Do you see it? Can anybody in the comments section, before I even say it, rap it out loud and tell me what it is I'm seeing that I think you're probably not going to love? And that is the fact that this is a 2-stage sewer hookup. Despite the short size of this camper, they did put the black and gray tanks, outlet for the black and gray tanks in the bathroom, I can't talk, off behind the tires. And then you have a kitchen gray tank only that drains just in front of the slide. I know that's probably not everyone's favorite thing. It is what it is. And the RV that we're looking at today, it does have their factory solar package, which is an optional item. This always have roof solar prep. But the solar package you can get on these is a 200-watt panel, has a 30-amp controller, so you could expand and add some more juice on the roof if you wanted to. Or you could put some juice on the caboose of this one. I don't know. However you feel like juicing it, that's up to you, Ron Popeil. But it also does come with a battery from the factory. And things like that, I haven't talked about this enough, but we actually don't include batteries by default in our pricing because a lot of manufacturers are already including them. So why would you charge you for a second battery when you're already getting one for free? You know, that's one of the things where the industry's changed and we've had to kind of change with it. So I call her Mr. Jefferson. What would you name this one? That's what I'm kind of curious to know. And if you'd like to see where we have one of these in stock and what we're asking, remember they can be in stock under either the name Wildwood, Heritage Glen, or Salem Hemisphere. They're the exact same RV, they just have two different names. Don't let that mix you up. When you're ready, we're ready. We'd love to work with you, folks. Until then, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.